Sorry about that. I bumped myself off when somebody said recording in progress. But as I was saying, we've now at a point where we've put everything together. We have our team. We have a presentation that we can show you that really, I think you'll be excited by. We're excited by, and look forward to continuing the hard work with the town to bring this all to fruition in as quickly as we all can do so. So with that, I'll leave it to Donna. And again, thank you for this meeting. And Donna, take it away.
Thanks, Joe. So just an update on where we're at. This is a long-term relationship that we're excited to be on. So myself, I'm a landscape architect with West 8. We're headquartered in the Netherlands, and I'm in the North American office. Also our partner architects, Olsen Kundig out of Seattle, world-renowned for their ecological approach to architecture. We're very excited to be working with them. And locally based here, a lot of regional knowledge and project knowledge is coming from Chazen engineering consultants, as well as Dutton architects. I'm sure those are familiar names for you guys in the region. So this is the site today, and then this is where we're going. We just wanted to give you an update, and we're trucking along and starting to organize the site, really fine-tuning our approach. We've been busy working away on resolving all the programmatic complexities of the resort, and trying to work through getting all our ducks in a row to submit for all the upcoming environmental approvals. So this is just an overview of the resort today. So the main lodge is 80 keys. And then we have, as a component of the main resort offering, about 30 woodland and forest and cottages right in this area. We have some lake recreation, perhaps a kayak pavilion, to encourage people to get out there and experience Nevele Lake. And then we have designed the residential villas. So we have about 50 private villas that are scattered throughout this nice walnut oak forest. And then of course the adjacent support buildings right along the border and along the property line adjacencies. So this is just an overview of what I walked you through. So this is the main resort. In the cleared area, in the footprint of the former resort, just south, closer to the lake, to experience that adjacency that is so representative of the Hudson Valley. The townhomes, we have a townhome offering, about 40 of them. These are the resort cottages. So they're standalone, basically guest rooms, so you can kind of get away from it all. Residential villas, so these are the 50 that I just spoke of. Residential lots. And then we have this, this left-hand side, this western side along 209 that has a culinary garden to grow different fruits, vegetables, grazing pastures, an apiary for bees, all that good stuff that really reminds people all the bounty of this area and what it has to offer. So that's kind of the front doorstep of this whole development, as well as some agrarian paddocks and grazing lands. So this is just an overview about those landscapes that I talked about. Being a landscape architect, we always talk about the landscape first, even though the buildings are a very exciting component of this. So the culinary garden and an equestrian experience, and then really observing and respecting that 100-year floodplain and keeping ourselves out of the riparian valley. Some sports, forest, the recreation, right in the heart of the development is the resort landscape, the slope meander. So this is on that former ski slope that you all probably know. And then the forest villas, we're working to configure them to respect the ravines and all the natural slopes in the areas. And then really the unique features of this area, the falls and the adventure forest. We're looking to do ropes and balance courses and really invite people to experience the wonders of this area. So this is kind of an overview of what we envision these experiences could look like. I spoke about the culinary garden, an equestrian experience, or perhaps it's pasture grazing, the lake, celebrating the lake and all the recreational offerings it can afford. And looking at this, rehabilitating the riverbed and through planting and through lake trails, the falls and the banya. So we're looking perhaps to offer a traditional Russian banya experience. You know, looking at this as a meditative, quiet development where people would go to get away from it all and meditate, stretch, and really kind of return to a state of well-being. And then perhaps there's follies that are populated throughout the forest. We've been looking at maybe crafting a gunk lookout to take in that big vista that we have of the site. So here's just a recap of our project approach, how the design team is looking at this. I mean, we really want to be a part of the rich heritage of this area. I mean, just looking at the previous traces on the land, the old canal bed, you know, the rail lines, and looking at the strong history of geology and mining and trying to, you know, make subtle nods through the architecture to these features. You're all familiar with the, you know, the vision of the Hudson Valley, that romantic rolling hills, you know, the Hudson River School, picturesque, and the quintessential experience. We also want to combine that with that really fun environment of and rich history of leisure in the region. So kind of making a new marriage of that. And what does the modern leisure experience look like in this area? We also are excited to capitalize and offer connection to the state park, not physically, but we see that there is this great adjacency, and we're excited for people to come to the region and experience these kind of natural features that, again, you guys all have on your back doorstep. So just a recap of all the beauty that is already there. Just as you walk the site, I'm not sure how many of you have been able to visit, but there is a rich and diverse landscape that's already there. And what we want to do is marry this with, you know, a light touch to architecture. So there's a significant floodplain that we get to navigate, a beautiful riparian lowland, an existing dam that's been blown out that we will restore to rebuild the lake and have it flood back to a recreational offering. So just looking at this, every time we go to the site, we see something new. Last time there was a beaver. So the rich topography, we all know that there is some challenging topography in the area. So it's kind of a surgical approach to stitching in these access points and all the architecture throughout the site, providing really light touches to connection is our goal. The valleys, so this is a site photo. I mean, it's hard to take it to see. It's hard to photograph these experiences until you're into it and really get like the immersive nature of it all. And then the gunk, the natural geology that's characteristic of this region on our site. So it's really great to walk with everyone on the design team and keep cataloging all these great things that we're going to be able to uncover through the process of the development. So again, restoring and enhancing. Every time we go, someone captures a much better version and more beauty. And what we're going to do is take an approach of repurposing existing infrastructure where possible and really using that as the backbone of the new alignment. So this is the existing building footprint that you're all familiar with. So it's about 640,000 square feet for just the ground floor. And then the proposed development is much less than 100,000. And that's the total square footage, you know, with all the floors. So we're touching a lot less of the site and taking a different approach, a less monolithic, less you know, big building approach. So you can see the old footprint and then the new, more light touches and cottages within the woods. So these are the old existing features that we would like to look at for, you know, doing a bit of a dust off and a rehab. The old schoolhouse is a beautiful little beacon. It's very quaint and elegant, and we look forward to programmatic opportunities that may afford. The dam, reconstructing the dam is going to be a great engineering task that Chazen we're looking forward to working together on. And then the wayfinding aspect of the water tower is always intriguing. You really know where you are, and really celebrating that spirit of place. The existing water pump house, that lineage of the stone vernacular, we want to maintain on the site and celebrate. And here it's over 100 years old. So this is just the existing alignments, and this is what we're going to maintain and capitalize on and use for the organizing backbones of this new resort. Once again, the new landscapes. So just diving into some of these aspects. So the culinary garden, affording an unforgettable dining experience is what we're looking for. This is some of the mood boards and what we're looking to create, some precedents. This is an overview of a plan of how we're going to use water, organization of water and cultivation to, you know, to organize this corner of the site and keep it a light, passive experience for our front doorstep. So some of the features: a water dining table, sheep trough, garden channels. The history of water in the site is something we really want to celebrate and bring into the culinary garden. So this is an artist's impression of what this may look like. Cut flower fields, cutting gardens, pergolas, a nice stone wall to really frame the space and give you a sense of arrival. And then some small scale dining experiences that really make this place special. So this is a section of how this plays out from the highway, from actually from Nevele Road. It's just walking back through the site. So we have to give some space and buffer to this highway. Maybe perhaps there's a future rail to trail alignment, a sound berm, you know, sculpt a bit of the land to give a sense of privacy, but also a nice green edge, respecting the existing topography, and then framing the experience and giving that light touch, special experience, a real boundary. So this is a character image of what this could look like. And some of these experiences: planting the roofs, providing green wherever possible. And then a farmer's market. Perhaps there's an opportunity for this to become part of a community experience. There's a great history of, you know, the agrarian experience in this area, the rolling hills, the grazing area. So these are some character images of what something like this may look like. The lake, one of the great natural features of the site. This is the kind of lake lifestyle we're going to be developing here. Something that's really quiet and harmonious and really classic American. The mirror on the lake. Spot to have picnics, and store your kayak. Get your wedding photos done. And looking back to the topography comment I made earlier, we see that the topography really frames 3 natural valleys. So in order to build the private villas within these valleys, we're going to have to cross some of them. So we're looking to lean on the character of craft and vernacular in the Hudson Valley and introduce stone and earthen crossings to allow the flow of water to continue, and also animal travel to be uninterrupted and undisturbed by this. Some character images of what the residences would look like. Here you can see one of Olsen Kundig's renowned houses, about how it really camouflages itself into the landscape. And again, some of the architecture that our partners have developed over the years, and this is kind of the vision that we're looking to develop for this area. And here's like a sample screenshot of the light on the land touch. So some early impressions of what these cottages may look like. And the Forest Valley Arcades, a romantic crossing that allows, nature trails, recreation, and also plant life and animals to move uninterrupted. Because we have the floodplain, we're looking to introduce pathways and boardwalks that will not interrupt the flow of floodwaters or any weather events. In the falls, I mean, one of the highlights and crown jewel of the site for sure. This beautiful water, I did jump in last time I was there. It's lovely and refreshing. But it's a series of cascades of pools and a vortex, which we think is fantastic. And then dividing that up into 3 centers of gravity: a reflecting garden, a secret banya, so like a 6-person sauna in the woods, and an opportunity to have like outdoor dining, pop-up areas for a picnic right at the gateway of the national park. So how this could be organized. So an area for meditation, yoga, perhaps to take in an evening fire. And, use of natural materials, porosity, indoor, outdoor, really camouflaging and stepping back and allowing the landscape to step forward. Bit aspirational. I don't know if we're going to be able to jump in at that, but so then I spoke about how we have this great topography, we have this great forest, and how can we invite people to experience it with stuff that's non-invasive, ropes courses, or perhaps balance beams, things like that. So these are some character images of what we're looking at for opportunities to taking in the night sky. And then, of course, because we have this beautiful river, we have to cross it. So some character images of ideas on how we may cross the bridge. We have to recreate the dam, and we want it to be a very subtle, camouflaged experience, but functional. We saw the beaver, so we have to make a beaver bridge. A dining bridge, perhaps there can be long table dinners overlooking the beautiful river. The equestrian bridge. And then we were speaking about how the resort would come first in a phased approach to development. So The development team is looking at how they can best approach the site, with the resort coming first and then the villas infilling later. And we're expecting a target breaking ground of 2022, I believe, is the placeholder in the calendar. So we're hustling away on those approvals. So I'm happy to be on such a great team. So thank you. That's